Overall, I mean, we had a pretty good crop considering some of the battles that we faced along the way. And you know, there were a few hard reminders for some producers along the growing season with some certain things that we saw. And to kind of start out at the beginning, we had some rain in the end of August that got some producers who were wanting to target more fall forage given where the commodity prices were when we came into the growing season. And unfortunately, we were getting a lot of good fall forage at the time. We had good soil moisture conditions, but that was also good forage for fall armyworm. So we were battling that insect pest. Areas of southwestern Oklahoma and that earlier planted wheat on susceptible varieties, we had quite a bit of Hessian fly that we were seeing. But overall, the growing season got off to a pretty good start considering what they were facing earlier on there. And then kind of moving through winter, it was a mild winter overall, and we got the spring green up going pretty early this year, almost 2 weeks earlier than we'll normally see here in Oklahoma. And for producers who were grazing and we're in a dual purpose system, I think we limited ourselves a little bit on our grain yield potential because we were trying to squeeze out as many days of grazing as we could because it was so early, and producers didn't think, man, I shouldn't be pulling my cattle off right now, when actually given the growing conditions we needed to be pulling those cattle off, or we were limiting our maximum yield potential. Another hard reminder from this past year about nitrogen and just nitrogen fertilizer, and producers wanting to cut inputs wherever they could given the commodity price at the time. And unfortunately, nitrogen was probably one of those that was on the chopping block, and not having that fertilizer out there probably limited us in some areas on our protein levels.
As we move towards the next planting season almost already, I can't believe that. What are some of the things producers need to be thinking about whenever they're A, selecting variety, and B, selecting a planting date?
Great question. Yeah, it's not too early to already think about the next growing season. That's going to be here before we know it. But yeah, some of the things you just mentioned there. One, variety selection. We've got all of our variety trial results up on the wheat.okstate.edu website if you're looking to try a different variety. Know what your variety brings to the table and the things that you're trying to battle out in your field. So low pH, different types of disease resistance. And then thinking about fertility going into next year. pH is usually an issue for a lot of people. Pull a soil sample, see where your P and K levels are. You might not have to put anything down. It's a way to save some money. Nitrogen fertilizer, I would, if we can put on some nitrogen up front, that's going to help us, especially on the fall forage. I'd challenge producers to try an enrich strip. I know Dr. Arnell is really pushing that last year, and he's going to continue pushing that again this year, because also trying to, one, get our maximum yield potential, and two, try to get us some adequate protein levels moving in for next year's wheat crop. And also scouting. Comes back to knowing your variety and being out there and seeing, do you have insect pressure, and then also the diseases. And if you have a variety like a Ruby Lee, which is very susceptible to some of our foliar diseases, be out there scouting and be willing to pull the trigger on a fungicide application to help protect that top end yield potential that a variety like Ruby Lee has to offer.
So really doing all the research now can help the crop in September.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you much, David. And for a link to the variety trial results, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.